Alternative lifestyles. Who wants to come in that? Zoe.
Alternative lifestyles. A friend of mine actually recently bought me a book on feng shui. Feng shui. I was like, feng shui my arse. And by that, I don't mean move it further up my back to make my shoulders look better. I know people do yoga to balance the body, and I can kind of see that, but to be honest with you, I can balance my own body beautifully with a pint in one hand and a pie in the other. And I take an all-or-nothing approach to alternative medicines. I think the test is, would you use it in an emergency, OK? Do you see many herbalist ambulances? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, help me, I've sawn my own arm off, have you? What you want to do there is wave a bit of sage over it. In fact, while I'm on it, don't get me wound up, I don't even think vegetarians should be allowed to squash their vegetarian food into meat-based products. You know the ones I'm talking about, the veggie burgers, the veggie bangers. I think, no, sorry, you made your choice. If you don't want the meat, you can't have the shapes.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is fatherhood. Who wants to come in on that? Al.
I'm a dad, and I can tell you already that child needs discipline. I'm a dad. I like being a dad. It's good fun being a dad, but I love mums as well. I'm a big fan of mums. My mum's one, and my wife's one, and lots of my friends are mums. And for a whole night, quite recently, I thought I might be a mum. I'm not. I'm a dad, but here's what happened. My wife went out for some drinks with some other mums, and I stayed in and had a really nice bath and a glass of wine. Yeah, I had a mum's night in. Brilliant night in as well, mums. I can totally see why it caught on amongst the mum community. It's great. It's much better than being out in a pub talking to idiots about nothing. I really enjoyed it. Quite disconcerting as well. I got out of the bath and just got the towel and twisted it around on the top of my head like that. Got up the next day and bought a little Citroen Zara Picasso. But I know I sound like a cliched dad when I say this, but genuinely, our little boy is properly gorgeous. He is. He's blonde and blue-eyed and really good-natured, and sometimes I'm just walking him round to the park, holding his little hand, and I'll just be swept away by how beautiful he is, and I'll just catch myself thinking, oh, my God, you are so gorgeous. If anything happens to your mum and she dies, we are going to look so attractive.
Well done, Alan. OK, which leaves us with Milton. Let's see what topic we have. It's entertainment.
I was watching Blue Peter the other day, who's a neighbour with really bad circulation. I said to him, Peter, why don't you get a pacemaker? He said, I can't even run, let alone keep up with someone. I was watching TV the other day, and I flipped over, and all I could see were the brown cushions on my sofa really close up. You have to be careful watching television. You think to yourself, that bloke's better looking than me, he's got a better car than me, and he's got a cat called Jess. My favourite film is the French film And. I think it was released over here as E.T. You have to admire people who go into the performing arts. They have to do exercises every single day for their future careers. Big issue. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Milton Jones. Point at the end round goes to Alan and Milton.
It's alive! It's alive! Oh, no, sorry, it is dead. I really am an awful vet.
I'm sorry, it's just you look nothing like your photo in Match.com.
You've got a flat screen TV and brand new trainers. I know what you did last summer.
I know what you did last summer, because you keep posting all your boring shit on Facebook.
Get back, you demons! You devils! Get away, Satan's spawn! Back from whence you came! That was the party political broadcast on behalf of the UK Independence Party.
I have a message from the other side. We have Bake Off now.
Actually, I'd rather you not say zombie. The term now is differently alive.
The ghost is trying to say something to us. Old Kent Road. Community chest. Go to... Sorry, I didn't have time to get a Ouija board.
Oh, my God! Everybody, run! Oh, no, it's just some fat prick with a Nerf gun.
I think you mean a broken Nerf gun. For example, this bit shouldn't do this.
I'm afraid I have no choice but to kill you, because I've already chosen to shag and marry your two friends.
28 days later, a horrifying journey of a man going from Three Bridges to East Croydon with Southern.
I see dead people. Oh, no, my bad. It's Keith Richards.
Here's Johnny, and then I'm going to put it on my willy, and then we're going to have sexy.
Sir, there's been another attack by the undead in Wimbledon. No, not zombies this time. Zombles.
A seance? No. I've been pronouncing it seance.
Is there anybody there? Can you hear me? Is there anybody there? This is the Christian O'Connell Breakfast Show.
That was Mayor Boris Johnson with his official statement on the riots.
You seen the traffic? It's a nightmare on Elm Street.
And now, Alan Bennett's long-awaited remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Nantwich Leaf Blower kerfuffle.
What do you want? What do you want? No, I'm not paying too much for my car insurance.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. So I gave Mark's dinner party an 8.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney? Oh, sorry. Is Sydney there, please?
If you don't keep up payments to your exorcist, there's a danger that your home will become repossessed.
Ha! Joke's on you, Dracula. I've got AIDS. I ate his liver with some jelly beans and a nice ombongo.
I've seen the ring! I wish that builder would pull his trousers up.
I don't have to listen to you. You're just a puppet. If you don't shut up, I'm going to put you back in your box, Mr. Clegg.
I'm afraid he's been bitten by George Michael. He's turned into a vampire.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way over to the performance area. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is questions that were rejected from this year's exams.
If the answer is 9, what is the question?
When you finish this exam, please will you turn your paper over and mark it?
Using Darwin's theory of evolution, explain Boris Johnson.
By the year 2015, the population of the Earth will have increased by 20%. How do we find Kerry Katona and stop her?
Complete the following sequence. 16, 35, 24, 8, 9. Now open the safe, grab the stuff and get in the getaway car.
If an object is travelling at 750 miles an hour, encounters resistance and slows to 0, for how many months will Richard Hammond have to wear nappies?
On the diagram below, show on the body where you like to be touched.
Describe Uranus without telling your parents.
Amy is 16. At least she said she was. How much trouble are you in?
Complete this crop rotation. Wheat, fallow, rock festival, BNP rally.
If everybody in Class A is called Tom, Thomas or Tommy, and every second boy in Class B is called Tim, Timothy or Timmy, what the fuck is going on?
Now we play a round called Loose Men. This game involves Andy, Rod, Tom and Russell. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners and the people I judge should produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is credit crunch. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the government have got this idea that what they want to do is bankers who've lost their jobs, they want to retrain them as teachers, but in half the time it would normally take to train a teacher. I bet the teachers are happy about that, aren't they? Hey, these people were crap at banking. The chances are they're also going to be crap at teaching, and they'll be even crapper if they're trying to train them in half the time it would normally take. Yeah, these people, right, surely it'd be better to retrain them as bankers. That is what they were crap
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is eating out. Who wants to talk about that? Rod.
I ate out the other day. That's what I went to Cardiff Bay. It's all changed, you know. They've done it all up, and it's all European development money. And some of the places now have got tables outside. It's al fresco dining in Wales. Just taking the piss. I think I tried to have a Twixt on a bus stop a few years ago down there. It was too wet to eat. So everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. You know, your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it. I didn't get past my starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater. I gave up. Everyone's pretending it's Madrid, don't see your soup bowls filling up. There's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the tables, going, spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. I'll get another one, I'll get another one.
Whatever. That leaves us with Tom and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is extreme sports. Who wants to come in on that?
No, why not? I went skydiving. I don't know if anybody here has ever gone skydiving, but if you haven't gone, I'll tell you what they do. They give you a couple lessons, then they bring you up into the plane, and you're not allowed to jump out of the plane on your own because it's too scary. So what they do is they hang you off the wing of the plane, which isn't scary at all. And the guy inside, he yells, "Let go!" 3 times. Then he gets mad. Starts kicking your hands. 'Cause I'm not letting go. We all skydive different. I skydive with a big plane in my hand.
OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, "Watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna..." I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, you don't like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out? Families.
Well done, Russell. Point it in and go to Rod and Tom. OK, which British sportsman will be looking for a new job soon?
Is Tim Henman is going to retire, isn't he?
Apparently, yes, with bad back, yeah.
He said his decision is because of his 2 young daughters, who regularly beat him in straight sets.
Surely he's actually going to try and retire and then never quite actually make it. He'll end up playing until he's 100 years old. He'll just bottle the retirement just at the final minute.
I think, to be fair to Henman, he was once the 4th in the world. Let's not forget, once the 4th in the world and reached 6 Grand Slam finals, which is a great achievement for a totally shit player. It's difficult to cheer on someone who, in your heart of hearts, you know you could probably beat yourself.
Well, yeah, but anyone who attends sport, I mean, anyone who attends sport on a regular basis will see around them, or perhaps be one of those people who sits in a chair, their fat rolling over the sides, going, "You're useless. Get off the pitch. I should be out there."
Said, it would be pretty boring watching sport if you just sit there going, "Well, I just think they're all excellent, actually." Well done to all the effort that's gone in, and I don't actually care who wins, because I think sport wins here. The fun of it is to go, "What's he doing?"
I think if Tim Henman had won Wimbledon, it would have been so weird, it would have actually torn a hole in our reality. Henman's won, and here to present the trophy is Winston Churchill with the head of a bee.
Put it this way, the last time a British player won, the Nazis marched into the Rhineland, so, you know.
In 1977?
No, I was talking about the men's.
Oh, OK.
1936, that's when they went into the Rhineland, isn't it?
Yeah, but actually, in 1977, the last time Britain won, they released Star Wars.
Yeah.
And what's more, 1977, the year Connie Hook was born.
Not actually.
I'd like to see every sportsman do a final year of their career drunk. Oh, missed it. Oh, who cares? I'm a millionaire anyway. David Beckham going up to take a penalty and just puking on the ball.
Very good. There's a read the point at the end of that round to Frankie, Hugh and Fiona. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to read in a political memoir.
So we were playing Truth or Dare, and I didn't want to tell the truth, so I shagged Edwina Curry.
Big Ben struck 12 and stopped. Thank God. My buttocks were on fire.
I thought I'd pressed the button that summoned the tea lady. Imagine my surprise when it turned out I'd bombed Russia.
I think the greatest thing about meeting the Queen was listening to him singing Candle in the Wind.
Say what you like about Robert Mugabe, but that moustache makes all the difference to foreplay.
I suspected that John Prescott was having an affair when the 4 legs of his desk came through the ceiling above me.
I was actually at college with Saddam Hussein. We were at Sussex together doing chemistry and combined inhumanities.
At the start, there were 3 women in the cabinet, 5 in the cellar and 2 under the patio.
Deciding to go to war was one of the tensest games of eeny, meeny, miny, mo I have ever played.
We'd sometimes break up boring cabinet meetings by convincing David Blunkett he was black.
Oh, when we got into Bosnia, the first thing we did was get the United Nations troops setting up trestled tables with plates of cheese straws and sausage rolls. But it turns out we were supposed to provide a buffer, not a buffet.
John Prescott, a book by me.
Take that, you bastard, he said. No one fucks with Mahatma Gandhi.
Now we play a round called Wheel of News, which involves everybody. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is a stand-up challenge based on this news wheel, dotted with topical subjects and faces. We spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it has landed on. If I judge that the person has got a big enough laugh, he or she is safe and gets to sit down again. The first team to have all its players sitting down at the desk wins the round. So here goes. Let's spin the wheel. Well, Michael Howard, the Tory party leadership. Who wants to get in on that? Ah, like a shot.
Hello. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. At the election, I announced my timetable for action, and here it is. I'm going.
Very good. Rory, very much sit down. To be honest, you could have sat down after you did the face. So let's spin the wheel again. OK, education. Who wants to go for that? Frankie's up.
The government's new education policy, apparently, is to make children stay at school till they're 18. It's just not living in the modern world, is it? 17-year-olds having to go to school. Who's going to pick their kids up from primary? The Catholic Church have got a big thing this week. They say they don't want sex education in schools because that's like giving the kids pornography, as opposed to the traditional Catholic method of educating them, of actually shagging them. Come on. Sex education at my school was a muttered warning about the janitor.
That's perfect. Frankie, sit down. Well done, you cool. Covered yourself in glory there. Let's have another look at the next story. OK, ASBOs. Who wants to go in on ASBOs? It's Linda.
Yeah, I think people are a bit down on ASBOs, but you've got to remember, these are the only qualifications that some kids are going to get.
Linda, sit down. Well done. What's our next topic? OK, ID cards. Who wants to come in on that? Jeremy.
Well, these are interesting because the defenders of ID cards say, well, we already have to carry lots of ID. you need to establish your identity in order to establish your entitlement to enter certain leisure centres or to claim benefit or to establish your entitlement to enter certain buildings. But this new card will establish your entitlement to go outside. And people say, well, they were a good idea because we had them in the Second World War. But in the Second World War, it was just a piece of cardboard that said, this is Mr. Wilkins, he's not a German spy. This will be this digitised, magnetised thing that says, this is Mr. Wilkins, he may not be a German spy, but he's got a genetic heart defect, his sister's against GM crops, and he took a video late back to Blockbuster in 1997.
Jeremy, please sit down. So, at the tie-break situation, I'm going to spin the wheel one more time. I want the two remaining players, that's Hugh and John, to give me something on that one topic. You both get a go of it, and the audience essentially decides. So, let's spin the wheel. OK, the nation's health.
Apparently, it's very important to stay healthy to have 5 portions of fruit a day. I do that. I have half a packet of Starburst. The Tories are very big on MRSA, which I found a bit surprising. I reckon most of them thought it was the way a posh man would pronounce the lead singer of the Smiths.
Just stand there, Hugh, because John is going to try to top that now.
There is absolutely no need to worry about Britain's health because, as we've all learnt, Jamie Oliver is going to save us all. And if Jamie Oliver has only taught me one thing, and he has, it's this, that an unhealthy lifestyle is like a homing pigeon. Yes, it's a lot of fun at the time, but one day it will track you down and it will kill you.
Very good. I'm going to give it to John, so John and his team are the winners. This round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories relating to current events. For each category, I read out an answer, and the players have to guess what the question might be. David, do you want to choose?
Yeah, can I have the environment, please?
OK, the category is the environment. The answer is between 19 and 23. What is the question?
Is it where the postman puts mail for number 27?
What about what percentage of the vote constitutes a great result for the Liberal Democrats?
Is it how much Wayne Rooney will weigh in stone 2 months after he retires?
Is it where are the numbers 20, 21 and 22? Or, if you're Peter Stringfellow, how old is too old?
Is it the number of times I'd listened to the Coldplay LP before slipping into a fatal coma?
Is it how many people actually care about the environment? I mean, actually, genuinely care. Don't say they care, but actually care about it.
At a gut level.
Well, let's face it, we all have far bigger and more tropical fish to fry. Greenpeace constantly thump on about how we must save this planet for our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children. But hold on, what if they don't have any children? They might not want children. Let's not spend what is quite a lot of money on hypothetical children. Yeah. Also, I know kids, they like bikes. They like shiny red bikes. I promise you, you show a kid a clean rural stream and a shiny bike, and I'll show you a kid sitting on a bike whilst pissing in a stream. Are they not the future? So, you spray on.
Is it the number of English counties likely to be underwater in 100 years' time?
It's yes, indeed. It's very, very close to that. Yes, it's very, very close.
Jesus Christ! That was terrible! That was less a joke, more an alarming fact.
I thought it was something ridiculously awful, but it's going to happen. Oh, well. Night-night, my children's children. You can ride around on the bike in smaller and smaller circles on a vanishing piece of land.
To be honest, Dara, in Scotland we have mixed feelings about global warming because we will get to sit on the mountains and watch the English drown. More pineapple, hooey!
By the way, what is the fear about the NHS?
It's to do with the the patenting of pharmaceuticals.
Yes,
so
yeah,
they want to extend it, make it a longer term in terms, like in line with America.
And that would cause a problem because
that would cost more money to the NHS in terms of purchasing.
Yes.
Can you ask him to explain that more coherently and lucidly?
No, I think he's done absolutely fine, Hugh.
Oh, thank you, Dara. Us baldies stick together, you see.
Yeah.
How do you think I got the job in The Apprentice? You're fired.
Ironically, baldies can't stick together at all. Just slide right
We don't stick together by the top of our head, Ed.
We don't all go, ooh, lovely, static electricity. Yes, the drug costs in America, that's the fear, is that because there are certain drugs that cost, say, £2,000 in Britain, would cost £9,000 in America, right? And that's the fear. But obviously what they should do is, if they're getting them for £2,000, they should buy loads of them, then go to America and sell them for £6,000, and then fund the NHS by selling America's drugs cheaper back to Americans. Why has nobody thought of it?
Corbyn keeps banging on about how we're under threat from Big Pharma.
Yeah.
I only just saw that written down today, so for 2 weeks I've thought he's scared of a big pharma.
Off my land!
Which celebrity has been out campaigning for the Lib Dems?
Hugh Grant.
Yes, it is Hugh Grant, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Here is Luciana Berger. He was also out with Chuka Amuna. Just knocking on doors in a way that would be totally natural, and not in any way would you open the door and go, holy shit, that's Hugh Grant.
Do you think he's sort of living his life backwards? Like this is all just a ploy to do some method research for Love Actually?
He just knocked on doors until he found Martine McCutcheon's house. And he
got the cards out.
Yeah.
I'm just a man standing.
It's a different part of this. No.
No, it's different. It's a different.
Wait! Tom!
That's all right.
You could not be more wrong. Absolute moron. Hugh Grant, Love Actually, knocked on doors for Martine McCutcheon.
Yeah.
But she didn't do paper one.
Yeah.
That was Keira Knightley. That weird
Andrew Lincoln.
pervert guy.
Pervert guy?
Yeah, no.
Different Andrew.
Okay.
How many times do you watch Love Actually? You've been very well acquainted with it.
Isn't it not on endlessly and constantly?
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it, Dara.
You're on television constantly, and I don't watch you.
Tom, Hugh and Rosie! In other royal news, who's been found in a car park in Leicester?
Stan Collymore.
This is Richard III, isn't it?
It is Richard III, yes.
Do you know about Richard III?
I know a little bit about Richard III, yes.
Well,
Although my image of Richard III would be kind of odd, because we weren't taught a lot of that in school, is of the Shakespeare...
So he was
I think that was
Skywalker. Your friends cannot save you now.
Oh, the Death Star will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
You get a different version. You get a different version to us.
Richard III was the man who lost the War of the Roses to Alan Titchmarsh. And he died at the Battle of Bosworth, and his remains have been found under a car park in Leicester, which is great, but they don't know what to do with him because he's lost his ticket and he's got £6 grand. and back pain. He's got to pay another 50 because he's buried across 2 spaces.
I'm amazed that anyone's shocked about finding him. The state of car parks these days, you can't walk 10 feet without putting your feet in a Richard III.
No, it's not a big deal either, is it? They found him in...
It's not a big deal.
They found Richard. It's not a big deal. They find Prince Harry in a skip most weeks.
It's an amazing addition to Leicester's Hall of Fame. They've got Engelbert Humperdinck, Shawaddy Waddy, Rusty Lee, and now Richard III. It's the worst variety show of all.
all MC'd by Gary Lineker.
Please tell me that he comes on at the end.
I'm suspicious it is Richard III, but firstly because, you know, they didn't have car parks in the olden days, and also because they found the bones in a small cardboard box labelled Southern Fried Chicken.
Well, I think that's the reason chickens do have a curvature of the spine.
Yes, they do. Wings.
It is, yes.
And people were a lot smaller then, so...
They were, you're right.
They weren't the size of a chicken.
That's some way I have found Richard III. Just a chicken carcass. Yeah, look. We didn't have to dig. One of the cars pulled out and it was just here. It was sitting there.
They think he killed the Prince in the Tower. They're not quite sure, but they think it was with a candlestick or the lead piping. That's one thing. And they think that now he was probably quite a good king, in fact. Don't they? He also said a horse, a kingdom for a horse.
I think he should be saying, the Force! My path for the Force! Skywalker! That is the greatest thing of everything in the world. Like, oh, the Death Star will be quite operational.
There's a pitch beat in Monkey. This.
Yeah.
Monkey!
I have given...
like a Chinese Death Star. This Death Star a lot cheaper than the other Death Star. But it's not faster! You cross my palm with my lightsaber. I tell you fortune!
You deliver to Endor! Endor out of range!
You have to correct! I put down the force field so you can get in, innit?
Now we play a round called Boris Johnson and his Chamber of Secrets. This game involves Tom Allen and Milton Jones. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is school. Who's coming on that? Tom.
Hello. I went to quite a rough school. I know. Isn't it moving? And it was a sort of school where people would come up to you and say things like, "Hey, you, do you want to fight, do you? Do you want to fight?" Is that why you look at me like that? Yeah, you want to fight? Yeah, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? And I'd always say, "Oh, no, thank you. But thanks for thinking of me." Those girls could be so cruel. And at my school, to avoid getting picked on, everyone had the same of everything. So everyone had, like, the same pencil case. It was a pencil case that was made to look like a packet of Walker's Crisps. And in it, everyone had the same Oxford maths set, which was like a tin pencil case, which contained a ruler, maybe a foldable ruler for travel. A foldable ruler, which was great for underlining things, wasn't it? Until you got to the middle. Big bump in the middle. And a set square, which wasn't a square, was it? It was a triangle. And a compass. Oh, I'm glad I learned how to use a compass. Not a day goes by. It's a perfect circle. It's got a hole in the middle, but it's a perfect circle. And, like, when do you even get to use that math set? I mean, occasionally you'll get to do proper grown-up maths, or math as they call it in America, don't they? But we do it more than once. When you get to do things like trigonometry and SOHCAHTOA. Do you remember that? SOHCAHTOA. Do you remember that? SOHCAHTOA. That's a thing. SOHCAHTOA. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I mean, now, as an adult looking back, it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if they spent maybe half an hour, or even just like 10 minutes, just 10 minutes going, "This is a pension scheme." This is how you fill in a tax tax return. This is how you mend a broken heart. This is how you tell an estate agent to fuck off.
Thank you very much, Tom. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is shopping.
Those reward cards are rubbish, aren't they? I've got too many points on one of them, and now I'm not allowed to drive. It's really important if you buy something, of course, to read all the instructions. I don't know if you've ever tried to fill a baboon with helium. Prit is not the best lip salve I've ever used. I couldn't complain. Southern Comfort tastes nice. Ordinary Comfort tastes like fabric softener. But at least your burps smell of summer meadows. When I was in America, I really got into the culture, so I went into a shop and the guy said, "Have a nice day," and I didn't, so I sued him.
And it's food.
Oh, OK. Oh, very similar topics. I once went to a buffet in Reading, and that's not even the joke. It was organised by a woman called Wendy, and it was so beige. It was so bland. It was like a buffet representation of Reading. I looked across this buffet, right? They put out sausage rolls, right? Sausage rolls, right? Where they just whipped off the cellophane and put the corrugated plastic straight down on the table. Like we were dogs! Then we had Scotch eggs, right? Scotch eggs cut into quarters. Apparently no one can eat a whole one. Then we had breadsticks displayed in a pint glass. I thought I was at a fucking UKIP rally. Then she starts putting down cold pizza slices next to wontons. No one's mixed Italian and Chinese cuisine like that since Marco Polo. Then she brought out the quadrant of dips. You know, the 4 dips. The 4 dips of the apocalypse. The white one. The other white one. Then there's a green one. What's that? Guacamole. Then there's a pink one. What's that made of? Sillet bang? I was just glad to have something made of some sort of colour. Anyway, it was a terrible buffet, but thank you very much, Wendy.
The topic is communication.
Not a good day today. No one turned up to the first meeting of my sarcasm club, despite loads of people saying how much they were looking forward to it. Do you ever do that thing when you're on the phone? You put it down. No, you put it down.
No, you put it down.
Listen, you're a qualified vet and it's an old dog. Do you know, it was so cold the other day in the city of Chester, when I ordered a taxi, I ended up in Chichester. The only bright point of the journey was seeing a car going the other way with a seatbelt round a kebab. My wife and I, we argue sometimes. You've left the lid up, you've left the lid up. Yes, but what if it's a man, the next person to use the toilet? It's a pedal bin, it's a pedal bin. It was her birthday recently. I took her to an orchard in Somerset. We stood for about 20 minutes. Not the Apple Watch she wanted.
Thank you very much. Look, The topic is exercise.
Also a picture of me. I'm not very good at exercise. I joined the gym. I joined Virgin Active because there wasn't a Virgin Passive. And I found the whole process very intimidating. Like, when you go in there, you're confronted with all the cardio area, like the cardio area. They call it cardio because that's where you go to have a heart attack. And then at the other end, they have what they call the free weights section, the free weights, which I have no business being in because it's for the bigger boys. The bigger boys go there all day. They're lifting things all day, trying to get big arms, trying to turn their arms into legs. And I think it all really started at school. Like, I didn't like doing PE at school. What would happen is, after assembly, one class would have to stay behind in the hall because they'd be doing gym. And I never found out who Jim was. The worst bit was if you had to use the apparatus! And the apparatus basically was this huge, terrifying cage which had to be buckled to the wall. It was so terrifying. And older children would have to come in who'd been trained by the army. And they'd come in and they'd untether its bonds, and they'd pull a lever and it would lurch out and it would swing out, and these huge, terrifying arms have to be buckled to the floor, otherwise it would just swing out and kill everybody. They had all these bars and ropes and chains. It was very much like a weekend I recently spent in Berlin.
Thank you very much. And the topic is parenthood. Away you go, Milton.
I went back to my parents' house the other day, looked into my neighbour's garden where I used to steal apples as a toddler. They didn't mind me stealing apples. It was dressing up as a toddler they thought was weird. I come from a family of auctioneers. There's my mum, my dad, my Uncle Philip, Auntie Eileen, my dying grandfather, going. I said to my dad, I keep making mistakes. He said, you're talking to the wrong person. I said, oh, no, not again. He said, well, it wasn't as bad as that Uber driver I had the other day. He fell asleep. So Calvin Klein's mum has labelled everyone else's pants. When my daughter was born, she had jaundice, so there she was, small, round, and yellow. We called her Melanie. Apparently, I didn't even turn up to one of my own children's christenings, according to one of them, who shall remain nameless.
And travel.
Travel, OK, fine. Well, I travelled from over there. Hello. One of my favourite travel experiences was at secondary school when we went on the school music trip to France. And to get on the school music trip to France, you had to be part of the choir. I was in the choir, and it basically meant you got to hang out with all the other 13-year-old homosexuals who didn't yet realise they were homosexuals, and their chatty female friends. And it was a great place to go and learn how to play a show tune on the flute. Not a euphemism. And this was back in the day when it didn't matter where you were going with the school. If you went on any school trip, you had to go by coach. Like, if you go to Australia, you go by coach. This was supposed to be a 5-day trip to France. We spent 2 days on the coach getting there and 2 days getting back. It was basically a day in France. So, on this trip, you really had to make the best of the coach trip. And for me, my favourite bit was when we got to stop off at the French hypermarket. So I thought that would be a great place for me to show off how much better I am than everybody else, because I'd actually been paying attention in French. So I went over to the patisserie and I said to the man there, "Bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît." And according to the French classes, the man behind the counter should have responded by saying, "Oui." Il y a voudrais un croissant ici. Which, when you think about it, is basically the equivalent of someone coming over here and saying, hello, I'd like to buy a pasty, please. And then the man behind the counter responding by saying, yes! There is a pasty here! I'm not even mentioning that it's part of a meal deal. So I said, bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît. And then the man behind the counter responded in normal French by going, blah, 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 blah. I had no idea what he was saying. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, my friend Kevin was no help. The only French he spoke was the French horn, which is a euphemism. I mean, I say they teach us how to speak French. Most of the time, they teach us how to sing it. I mean, I could have stood there and gone, quelle est la date de ton anniversaire? But the idea of a 13-year-old English homosexual standing in the middle of a French hypermarket going, what is the date of your birthday? What is the date of your birthday? Couldn't be any more absurd. So I just responded by saying, oui, oui, d'accord, d'accord. Ended up with 8 kilograms of ham.
Thank you very, very much. Points there to Tom. Why did one of Corbyn's shadow cabinet appointments upset farmers?
Oh, it's his farming minister is a vegan. She's the only politician less welcome on a farm than David Cameron.
The good thing about having a vegan agriculture minister is they will not talk bullshit. They talk organic mulch.
She wants to treat meat eaters the same as smokers, doesn't she? And you're thinking, well, you know, certainly if you go into Pizza Hut and order the meat feast, you'll think twice about that, wouldn't you, if you have to eat it outside?
I don't know. If people gathered outside offices to just eat meat, I think that would become enormously popular.
Just do the pepperami like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Bloody hell, it didn't used to be like this, did it?
Sitting under one of those heat lamps, it's slowly cooking.
You can imagine meat eaters going away to European holidays just to come back to be like, it was amazing, you can still eat meat inside over there.
But then the NHS could help with, like, wean you off with, like, a meat patch. Or you could just chew an OXO cube if you were getting, like, pangs.
Could you put an OXO tube into an e-cigarette and, like, and vape it? Would that... would that perform the same thing? Oh, beefy. Oh, I really need
Sorry,
that.
it just sounded like you're having sex with Ian Botham then.
Tell him again about those long walks, beefy.
I think she's got a point, though. I think meat is quite similar to smoking. I think, you know, a lot of people after sex, they like to have a cigarette. And I like to, after sex, just have a quick spit roast.
OK, who also had a party conference this week?
I believe it was UKIP.
It was, of course, UKIP. Yes, they did, actually, yeah. Nigel Farage, big fan of the show. How are you, Nigel? Good to the...
The thing about it was that they didn't have enough people, did they, at UKIP? They had to slash the ticket prices because nobody was turning up. I mean, they keep on telling us the country is full, but they can't even fill their own conference hall, can they?
It was at Doncaster Racecourse, which is weird, given the trouble they've had with the first-past-the-post system. Why was it...
Why are these people paying to go and watch the UKIP conference? Do you know what I mean, if you want to watch, like, boring old men in shit clothes talk about hating foreigners, Top Gear's on Amazon soon.
The next topic is teaching. Who wants to come in on that?
Greg. I was a teacher for many, many years, ladies and gentlemen, and I knew the day I had to leave teaching, it was simple because a very clear sign was given to me that I should leave the profession by a child, because a child walked into my lesson 20 minutes late. I was a very strict teacher. I was livid.
yeah? I was almost as mad as if that child had been running in the school corridor, right? I thought, I am having this little bastard. I am having this. So I gave him my most ruthless teacher stare when he walked in, something like... Maybe not that sexually aggressive. It wasn't. That would work. That would work, though, wouldn't it? They wouldn't be late again then, would they? Oh, dear. Where have you been? No, it wasn't right. I was furious. I went, oh, really? Oh, really? And I could see that child didn't give a shit, right? And I thought, oh, no, this is the end of my teaching career. And I went, where have you been? And he went, yeah, sorry, sir. I went, really? Are you? Well, where the hell have you been for 20 minutes? And I promise you, that child looked me in the face and went, yeah, sorry, sir. I've been living La Vida Loca. What can you say to that? I said, fair enough, sit down. Anyone who quotes Ricky Martin at me, ladies and gentlemen, is a friend for life. Well done, Greg.
Let's see the first topic, please. The first subject is catering. Anyone's given that? Josh.
My favourite place to eat is the breakfast buffet in a hotel. Because at a breakfast buffet, I will eat absolutely everything. That's the rule, isn't it? At home, I will have cereal or toast for breakfast. At a breakfast buffet, I am having cereal and toast as my starter. In combinations you would never consider at home. Coming back and what have I got? Well, 8 hash browns, topped with some Dutch cheese, actually. I have 4 pain au chocolat, 6 croissants, some segments of a fruit I've never heard of, and 12 of the smallest orange juices you have ever seen in your life. I eat so much at breakfast buffet, I'm so tired, I have to go back to bed. And then sleep through to my next breakfast buffet. I'll be mixing the cereals, going crunchy nut cornflakes with shreddies. Who do I think I am, Heston Blumenthal? You've got to do it, don't you? It's like when you're in Nando's, they give you the plastic glass to pour your own drink. I think, well, I'd be an idiot not to make myself a spranter in this situation, wouldn't I? What am I having? Having a Sproker-Fola, actually, yeah, all of it. What does it taste like? Utter shit, absolutely terrible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, well done, Josh. OK, let's have a look at the next subject. And the topic is smoking. Let's come out. Joe.
I've actually given up smoking, which, well, that's a lie. I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those pricks that says they've given up and then goes to the pub and smokes yours. Because when I was a proper smoker, I hated pricks like that. I really like... You know, someone comes to you and go, have you got a spare cigarette? I go, no. Because unfortunately, I'm addicted to them. Which means I pretty much take a shine to all of them. Have you got a spare cigarette? Yeah, I do, weirdly, because I'm a 19-a-day man myself. Thanks away, you knobhead. What else, like... Warnings, they do nothing for me. Like, you know, the warnings, they're quite drastic things. They're like smoking kills. So? I've got a horrible picture and still people don't give up. And I thought, bloody hell. So I've come up with a couple of ideas, right, to get people to give up smoking. They're just ideas, right? You could either put a warning on cigarette packets that says something like, one of these fags has been up a dog's arse. Yeah, I think that'll separate the men from the boys, isn't it? Or simply make cigarettes cock-shaped.
Well done, Joe. Thank you very much. So that leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've got. And the topic is school.
That last bloke was a bit weird, wasn't he? Anyway, I went back to my old school the other day. First time in 30 years. I took a note. Teacher said, so, Jones, what have you done with your life? I said, oh, I'm just Britain's top Ofsted inspector. They were a lot nicer to me after that. I was there for the funeral of my old science teacher. They asked me to say a few words, so I did. Method. We put the coffin in the crematorium. Observations. It burned with an orangey bright flame. Conclusion. No more homework.
Well done. Pointing out to the Muppet Jones. Very good. There is the back. There we go. In other news, what do doctors want us to stop using?
They're waiting rooms to sleep in.
People taking helium, and they enjoy it, and they speak very highly.
Bizarrely, that's correct. Which is...
It's a finite resource, and it's needed for MRI scanners.
And what not? Yes, very, very true. Yeah, it's being used up on fripperies like balloons. And squeaky voices.
Yeah, although I'm doing this one without it.
They're worried that instead of helium then in balloons, they will instead start using nitrous oxide in balloons. But nitrous oxide is laughing gas. So then that's the worry, is that the kids will be able to get high on their balloons if we end up having to do party balloons with nitrous oxide.
But if you're worried about kids getting high on nitrous oxide balloons, you can surely get high on a helium balloon just by holding on to it.
I was doing a gig at Festival, I think it was, and you could hear when people are taking nitrous, like you can hear it because there's an audible because they do it into a balloon and into their mouth to give themselves a giggle, and people were doing it at my gig. Actually, kind of it's a cruel heckle, isn't it? It's like, okay, I'm going to need something to get me through this.
Is it not people that, Ed, that you deliver one of your trademark jokes and the crowd will go... Was that not the sound?
I only found out those little canisters that they suck it from are called whippets. The little canisters of nitrous oxide.
That's right,
yeah. They're called whippets. Somebody said to me, the kids are sucking whippets in the park. And I was like, oh, my God, do I need to call the RSPCA?
By the way, how do scientists now think the universe will end?
Oh, spoiler alert.
It's a thing called the Big Rip.
Yes.
The universe is sort of is accelerating so fast and getting faster and faster and faster that eventually it will just rip itself apart.
Yeah.
Is that right? And that'll be the end.
They say this, how do scientists now think? What other nonsense have scientists just made up about what might happen 20 billion years from now when no one's around to say, oh, you got that one wrong? It's just nonsense that his mate Brian natters on about to keep himself siphoning BBC funds into his big fat bank account. I'll tell you what, it's all hot shit.
Me and Brian on the astronomy gravy train with all those millionaire... making a rain! Look at the Big Bang now, bitches!
What will happen, though? I mean, they're saying this might happen in 22 billion years, but you can guarantee it'll be the day that the Greeks do pay back the last cent.
Finally.
10 cents!
It's called the Big Rip.
The Big Rip is
actually going to continue to accelerate faster and faster until the whole thing
actually an
just becomes
extension of the Big Freeze, and it's either that or the Big Crunch. Yeah, it's
Are they all the same thing?
No, Big Freeze would happen first, then the Big Rip would possibly happen after that.
And when is big yellow storage from that?
That is just off the M4 in Hounslow.
And then there's the big ins where the whole universe just goes into panto for the rest of its life. Big ins.
Oh, Biggins!
I think we were there.
Wow, that was too long a journey for me.
That was a bit. There was a lot. There was a leap there. I give you that.
Tell me that joke again, Ed. I got some.
Oh no!
Fine.
Now they're going to have to broadcast my bad joke for your good joke. That's the worst thing that can happen to a comedian.
You pick on Brian Cox, you pick on me, right? That's the way this works, my friend. At the end of that round, the points go to Matt, Zoe and Josh. Now we play a round called I'm So Brexcited and I Just Can't Hide It. This game involves Nish and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is the movies. Who wants to go in that? Nish.
I'm a big movie fan, and I'm very excited that there's going to be a new James Bond. Now, my pick, personally, would be Idris Elba. I think he'd be an amazing James Bond, but some people are very unhappy. I was reading an article about this, and the first comment under the article started with the words, "This is not a race thing." Which immediately makes you think, it's definitely a race thing. This is not a race thing, it's just James Bond is not black. Now, I've got terrible news for this person. James Bond is not real. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist. If you're talking about fidelity to Ian Fleming's original character, Daniel Craig has a smartphone and a laptop, and in one of the Pierce Brosnan films, he drove an invisible car. So it might be a bit late if you just suddenly become a stickler for canon. And the second comment started with the words, "This is political correctness gone mad. This is the ethnic minority lobby getting their way again." And hey, we all know if the ethnic minority lobby has been campaigning for anything, it is for a black James Bond. People have been out in the streets. We want a black James Bond now. We don't care about police brutality. All we care about is 007. Hashtag Black Bonds Matter. We will settle for a Mexican, maybe. And who can forget the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King? I have a dream that one day a black man will play a fake spy.
Thank you very much. Well done, Nish. And the first subject is relationships. Ellie.
So I've got quite a close relationship with my sister, and she's got my little nephew, Henry, who is a prick. No, he is. Don't take his side. You haven't met him. Because before he came along, I was the youngest in the family. I was the baby of the family, which we all know is the socially acceptable way for saying favourite. A role I was born to play until my sister, Slaggy McSlaggerson, got herself knocked up by some dude she had barely been married to for 6 years. Suddenly it was all about her and the baby within. Now, initially, naively, I did actually get quite excited about the pregnancy, because I think especially from, like, a female point of view, you wouldn't be human if you didn't get excited about your sister putting on a lot of weight. Had a lot of fun with that. We did. I changed her ringtone to the sound of a large lorry reversing. Just sisterly banter, really. But the banter stopped when the baby came, because suddenly it was all about him. No one paid me any attention anymore. Like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, sort of a family dinner with a small child around. It's a nightmare. There's food being thrown, there's shit everywhere, there's tits hanging out. You name it, I tried it, still nothing. Thank you.
Okay, very good. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been given. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is entertainment.
I'm reading a book at the moment. It's called The Anti-Climax. The first part is good. see Rihanna had to cancel a concert because she got salmonella. Ella. I also see that down by the Thames they're making another wheel, this time dedicated to Mary Poppins, called the London Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Eye. My grandmother, she got her scarf caught in one of those Ferris wheels, but she did regain consciousness. After all, what goes around... I was in a nativity play once. I was the man who scares the children because he comes into the hall on the wrong day to play badminton. Lionel Richie says hello, by the way. The other day, I saw a sheep pole dancing in a kebab shop.
Thank you very, very much. OK. Getting that round the points. Got a bit of go!
This round is the stand-up challenge. I launched the Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is... festivals. Who wants to come in on that? Kevin.
Festivals. Nice picture there. That's actually me on your left. So, I was at a Christian rock festival. I never really meant to be there. I was just passing through this Christian rock festival and there was a stall set up that said a free toastie for all of God's children. So I thought, shame on. I said, how's it going, mate? Can I have a toastie? And the guy said, are you a Christian? And I thought, well, if I'm not a Christian, am I not getting a toastie? That's not very Christian. And with this, the guy crumbled and stood back to reveal a chalkboard and he said, OK, you can have cheese or cheese and ham. And I thought, I'll just cheese, mate, because I'm a Jew.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is family. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
So, it wasn't easy growing up trying to be a little liberal kid in the most right-wing family in the whole of my town. My dad was the most right-wing person I knew, but always quick to point out, I'm not racist, but. That was the danger word. I'm not racist, but... Or the latest remix, which is even more innocuous and dangerous. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration. Yeah? Isn't it obvious? All right, no one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. I just want to have a sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there, yeah? Me and my brothers, the rest of your family, Mr. Woolham whatever your bloody name is, mate, yeah? Get in the van, right? My dad even managed to be prejudiced about my first car decision. How do you even achieve that? By British or German. Do not bring Crappanese onto my driveway, boy. Not only that, but I chose a hybrid car. Part electric, part petrol, papa. Right? Another question mark hanging over my sexuality. It's the noise of it when it drove off. Thanks for Sunday lunch. Bye, Daddy. Thank you.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs.
I used to work at a Christian rock festival selling toasties. The best day was when I sold this Jewish bloke some yellow ham. My dad was a dustman. I didn't like him coming to collect us from school, though. Not because I was ashamed he was a dustman, it's just you never knew which day he was going to come. The rest of my family were police marksmen. Apart from my grandfather, he was a bank robber. He died quite recently, surrounded by his family. My uncle, he's a police frogman. No, sorry, he's a French policeman. I used to work in a supermarket. It was my job to hand out samples of things for people to taste. But I was asked to leave after the little cups of bleach incident. After that, I worked in a pathology lab, but I was asked to leave after one of my reports said cause of death, autopsy.
Point to the end of the angle to Milton Jones. Come on back.
Things you wouldn't hear on a property show.
So, it's a 2 up, 2 down. It's unusual, but those are the testicles I was born with.
Welcome to the show. We'll be looking at houses that have been designed by someone's nan. Yes, it's grand designs.
Of course, finding something in London on your budget was very, very difficult. So this property does come with a bit of a commute. Welcome to Stoke.
All property is theft. Good night.
Bit mean, but we've put together a montage of first-time buyers being told about stamp duty for the first time.
I begged Gary for an extension. He went and got a conservatory. I actually meant a penis enlargement.
This week, Bert has bought a yurt. And that sentence alone makes this the most fun show we've ever done.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Allsop, and this week I'll be patronising more millennials. You can't have dreams and a second bedroom. Wake up.
Well, this used to be a railway station, but there haven't been any trains here for nearly 40 years. It's Haywards Heath on Southern Railway.
And Simon has converted this railway carriage into his very own office, just by yelling into his mobile phone like an arsehole.
This house was built on an ancient burial ground, which is why the episode's been hosted by me, the ghost of a hunchback Victorian boy trying to explain fixed-rate mortgages.
Now, this next property is about £50,000 over Philip and Susan's budget. Luckily, though, Philip's grandmother has just died.
Loads of notorious people live on these here branches. Piers Morgan, Katie Hopkins, Donald Trump. So, what? Escape to the country? No, this is escape to the...
So, if you want to brighten up your kitchen, turn the light on.
Susan turned her 2-bedroom house into a 10-bedroom house by putting a bed in every room.
I'm Danny Dyer. Welcome to Let's Do This Gaff Up.
Well, there you go. Immediately, you can see how much roomier it looks without the old lady and the oxygen cylinders.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
I'm afraid Grandad's dead. He fell into a bowl of Christmas cake mix Sounds unlikely, but you see, under the surface, very strong currents.
It's time to drain the 25th vegetable in our advent calendar.
Bad news, son. Santa's just sent a text. Apparently, he won't be able to make it until after the sales have started.
Your mother has always wanted to be somewhere hot for Christmas, so I've chained her to the Arga.
Santa's deliveries were much quicker this year because he didn't have to deliver to the naughty children of Tottenham and Croydon.
Oh, this is embarrassing, dear. The smaller set of underwear is actually for my secretary.
I'm afraid Santa wasn't able to bring you a toy train, so he's brought you a toy replacement bus service.
No, Mum, these are just flattened pieces of cardboard. This is just an Xbox.
No. The Wii is yours, darling. It's not Granny's.
No, Grandad, you kiss under the mistletoe, not the camel toe.
I haven't got you a present, Grandma, because Daddy promised you'd be dead.
Either we've been burgled or all Dad's got us for Christmas is a big poo in the middle of the carpet.
Now I got the Christmas presents early this year. I looted them in August.
In other news, where was Theresa May, however, speaking this week?
Florence.
She did go to Florence.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well,
Yes.
Nice, lovely place to go.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
where she was trapped in a glass box.
Yeah.
Failed to get out.
I think I'm not quite sure why she went to Florence.
The way it's going with this constant extensions, it feels like the only way we're going to leave Europe is because of actual continental drift.
Nigel Farage is very unhappy about the sort of transitional period, and he said people in this country didn't vote for a transitional period. I'll tell you what else people in this country didn't vote for. Nigel Farage!
The government also, I mean, this is fair, they want us to be more positive about Brexit.
Yes,
don't
they do.
So I'm
Yes,
happy
they
to say I'm positive it's a massive risk and no one knows what they're doing.
I wish they'd admit they don't know what they're doing. That would be so admirable to just go, but it's really hard. Forget it, I wish I hadn't said it. Sometimes I say to the kids, right, that is it. No telly, no video games, no iPads, but that is unenforceable. You cannot keep that. Do we like Google porn, have Haribo? I don't care.
Everything in the screen. Everything in the screen. Very good.
Google porn, have Haribo. You've just described Friday night.
This is Tang Faster. What has happened since the speech?
Oh, it's all gone tremendously positively.
It has, yeah.
Boris has claimed credit for it.
Boris has claimed credit for it,
Which
yes.
is a bit weird, because it went down badly, so it's a bit like demanding praise for a fart in a lift. Boris is just there being like, I smelt it, I dealt it, I did the crime, I've done the rhyme.
Boris claiming credit was like claiming responsibility for a fart in the lift while not being in the lift when the door opened. So you were leaving to go, I did that.
Boris isn't really sort of in charge of Brexit, and now it looks like we're going to be staying in Europe for longer, and no one really knows sort of what's happening. And so it's not really Brexit anymore, but it's still got the name Brexit, and it hasn't really got the original cast in it either. So Brexit's now sort of become Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
can't wait for The Rock to get involved in Brexit. So excited for Dwayne The Rock Johnson to get involved in Brexit.
If The Rock got involved in Brexit, I would apologise to all the Leave voters so quick. Right, this was a great idea. I love you all.
Likely dating profiles.
Do you want a man who's comfortable to say the word love? Call me. I'm a Wimbledon umpire.
Hey, do you like it when two bodies come together and fall into great ecstasy? Me too. Let's find some and watch them from the bushes.
Once you go Asian, you'll never go Caucasian.
True story?
I like long walks on the beach, a pebble beach, barefoot. I love pain. I love pain!
Vegan woman in her 30s seeks vegan man for fun, companionship and joyless dinners out.
And would it impress you to know that I typed out this entire profile using my dick?
Lady, age 50, never married, loves books, gardening, knitting and long walks. Seeks a gentleman who's very kind and likes similar things. Must be hung like a hoover.
Sensible man with Bingley Building Society gold account at 1.85%. Seeks woman with similar interest.
Hello, I'm looking for a bloke called Dave. He's been hanging out in Nice, apparently got his trotters up.
Man in his 40s, owner of Foldy-Uppy Bike. Looking for any woman who's interested in me demonstrating my Foldy-Uppy bike. Look, it folds up.
Ambitious man with no sense of work-life balance seeks woman... I haven't got time for this.
You could say I'm a bit old-fashioned in that I'm a phenomenal bigot.
Man with huge belly seeks concave woman.
Female, early 60s, high achiever, snappy dressing leader of the Conservative Party, very horny, has the potential to fuck the whole country.
Now we play a round called Mock Them Up and Throw Away the Key. This game involves Romesh, Angela and Josh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round's our stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is food. Who wants to come in on that? Josh.
I'm not a fan of people that are pretentious about food, the kind of people that pretend they like dark chocolate. And by that, I mean anyone that claims to like dark chocolate, because no one actually likes dark chocolate. No one's eating normal, nice milk chocolate going, well, this is good, but I wish it tasted a bit more like paracetamol. All this pretension. I went into a cafe for breakfast the other day. One of the things they sold on the menu, toasted bread. That is called toast. What are my other options? Flaked corn topped with the juice of a milked cow? Maybe I don't know what people want from food. I was walking along the street the other day. A van went past. On it said, Waitrose, do you like your bananas green? And I thought, no. No, I'm not a huge fan of diarrhoea, no. I don't like my bananas green for the same reason I don't like my chicken Kiev's dangerously underdone. But now you go into Waitrose, all they have got is green bananas. You go, am I the only person that's ever bought a banana because they want to eat the banana? So everyone else go, oh, I think I'll fancy a banana in about 7 days. Better go out and buy one now. Can you come out tonight, Steve? No, I've checked my diary. I'm eating a banana. And all they do is sell them in bunches, so basically what I've got is no bananas for 7 days, followed instantly by far too many bananas all at the same time.
Well done, Josh. OK, let's have the next topic. The subject is health. Who wants to come in that? Angela.
Yeah, I am quite a sickly person. My own mother once said, Jesus, Angela, if you were a dog, they'd put you down. That's... Yeah, I've got something called glue ear. Well, I don't know if you know what glue ear is. It necessitates the wearing of grommets in your ears, right? Now, I don't know. Some people have grommets when they were a child. Child is the key word there. I'm 37, I've got grommets. I might as well have sodding nappy rash. Even the word grommet is a cartoon character. You don't get that with adult procedures, do you? My grandmother, she's had a bilateral hip replacement. She hasn't had a double SpongeBob. Grommets. Right, and they're inconvenient as well. They're inconvenient because I love swimming, but I can't get my ears wet, so I have to wear a swimming hat. My mum bought me a red one because she said it would just look like your hair. It doesn't, no, I look like a Lego version of me. And that's not even the worst of it, right? That's the worst of it. Twice a year, I have to attend something that's called the Glue Ear Clinic, which takes place at my local children's hospital. You have not known humiliation until you've been a 37-year-old woman sitting on a plastic toadstool, thinking for old Mr. Men comics, waiting for a nurse wearing a Peppa Pig apron to call your name, or 10 sets of parents stare at you wondering where the hell your child is. On the upside, though, I do have the world's largest collection of Brave Girl stickers, so it's not all bad. One of the side effects of having glue ear is my eardrums burst quite frequently, right? And that's not pleasant. It's pussy, it's messy, it's oozy, it's bloody. It's horrible. It's not very nice. It happens to me all the time. Happened to me once during sex. I know, disgusting. Although it was quite entertaining to see the look on the gentleman in question's face as I saw him think to himself, oh, my God, I've actually shagged her brains out.
OK, that leaves us with Ramesh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is animals.
I'm into animal rights, actually. I recently watched this film, Blackfish, which is about this killer whale that ate 2 of the trainers at SeaWorld, killed 2 of the members of staff at SeaWorld. And it's an interesting film, but I do have some issues with it. You know, one of the things they say in the film is we call them orcas. Some people call them killer whales, but these are beautiful, beautiful orcas. We call them orcas. This one killed 2 people. Right? That's a killer whale, right? He lost the right to be called orca when he slaughtered 2 people, yeah? People are surprised by what happened. People are surprised by what happened. They say, oh, my God, I can't believe what's happened at SeaWorld. I can't believe that one of the killer whales tried to eat one of the trainers. Listen, that's not a surprise. I'm a vegan, right? If you make me dance with a sausage on my nose for long enough, eventually I will try the bloody sausage, right? I don't think that's a surprise. And the film is presenting obvious stuff. I was talking to an intelligent person about Blackfish. He said to me, I can't believe what's going on at SeaWorld. It's disgusting. I can't believe they kidnapped them from the wild. How else did you think that they got them? Did you think there was some sort of recruitment drive? And the thing is, you know, is they want to set this whale free. They want to set Tilikum free because he killed 2 people. Because he killed 2 people, they want to set him free. I mean, that's the opposite of crime and punishment, isn't it? I mean, people say because he lives in such horrible conditions. Listen, people live in horrible conditions. We don't let them off for doing stuff. You don't say, oh, Derek here killed 6 people. We can't do anything about it because he lives in Hastings.
Thank you very much, Robert. I'm going to give the point to Angela Barnes there. Everything come back. Thank you very much.
Unlikely questions from this year's exams.
Discuss the metaphysical meaning of the following poem. My friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Would you like this exam to be A, multiple choice, or not?
The Bronte sisters. Shag, marry, push off a cliff.
Discuss the following. The Nazis got all their ideas from the History Channel.
Who's the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A?
If a bank loses £60 billion in a 6-month period, using numbers that you've plucked out of thin air, work out what the chief executive's bonus will be.
Napoleon, a small man or a long way away?
Quantify n in terms of q when q is a positive integer that dissects a parabolic curve.
How's your lucky pencil case now?
What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
Draw a diagram of the genitalia of the male elephant. Use all 30 sheets of paper provided.
Biology. Without singing, what is the knee bone connected to?
Explain the use of juxtaposition in Macbeth. Alternatively, write down everything you know about Macbeth in a blind panic because you've got no idea what the word juxtaposition is.
Drama. Question 1. What was it that first made you want to become a waiter?
What is your PIN number?
This round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question, on the board of 6 categories. Joe, which one would you like?
Home news, please.
OK, your category is home news. The answer is 10 minutes. What is the question?
10 minutes. Is that sobering up time for a budget airline pilot?
Is it? How much of 2006 can Pete Doherty remember?
Is it what is the life expectancy of an Iraqi greengrocer?
What's the maximum length of time a man can tread water once he's been handed a hippo? Another no, though.
No, I'm rolling it. What kind of, like, you know, swimming lessons were you brought to? Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing very good. Now bring in the hippo. Bring in the hippo.
Is it something to do with education? Is it what do most kids think quarter of an hour is?
I know the answer. It is something to do vaguely with education.
Oh, it's how long are new lessons going to be?
How long are some new lessons?
Yeah, Mandarin specifically.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Very well done, Russell Howard. Very good. Yeah. The question I was looking for is how long might some lessons now last under proposed secondary school reforms? These are the radical proposals from the Qualifications and Curriculum Authority to combat pupil disaffection by revolutionising school timetables and teaching methods. Does anyone really care about pupil disaffection?
Well, do you know,
is there any generation that didn't have... I don't like this.
Do you know, at school, you, I mean, working towards excellence does depend on the pupils, but we had a bloke at my school who, when they marked A-levels, he used to get A, B, C, D, E, O, F. Those were the grades, right? The first time... took his A-levels twice. The first time round...
Why did you get an O before the F?
Well, because it was an O-level pass and then a fail. So but the first time round, he got 2 O's and an F. He retook them, he got 2 F's and an O. And he was delighted because he could spell ooh, F off with his A-level results.
But it's amazing.
See, that's the kind of kids you're working with.
But that's all you do at school. We had a maths teacher called Mr. Winter, and he had a comb over, right? And we used to play a game called Tilt the Wig. And the aim was to get him so angry that his hair would flap down by one side. And you cannot get told off by a grown man whose hair is flapping down. It's the most fun. It's like when you go 10-pin bowling with your mates and they go and get a drink and you fiddle with their name. They come back, they bowl, they get a strike, they turn to celebrate, and above them in flashing letters it just says, "I touch kids." It's that level of giddy joy, you know? Totally oblivious to the fact of it.
This is part of the new proposals, isn't it, that they have things like 10-minute classes to shake up education and they have they combine subjects and stuff like that.
It is genuinely a proposal that you would get different teachers to add it. And the one suggested by the man from the Qualifications and Curriculum Advisory Board, whatever it is, was that perhaps the PE teacher could come around and tell you about great historical example of sporting figures and their leadership. Which is
Could there be a worse idea? I mean, you're sitting there as a history teacher trying to tell people about life in the trenches in the First World War. A guy comes in a tracksuit and starts going on about the life of Graham Souness.
I think they combine religious education and biology, so then you'll know where babies come from, but you'll also know it's a sin and dirty and bad.
The other suggestion was...
to be a terrific juxtaposition.
One of the examples was anatomy, where you could have your science teacher and your PE teacher giving the lesson together. The danger then, isn't it, if you forget your Bunsen burner, you know, you may have to do the whole lesson in your pants.
The whole scheme seems to be, what else can we get the PE teacher to do?
Are they not also introducing they're trying to introduce new things, like you can do archery and skateboarding, apparently, in school. And what's going to happen there is you're just going to get a whole new type of drive-by shooting.
That'd be great. Mothers of gang members pleading for quivers to be taken off the streets.
It is. But you shouldn't be able to hear the roll, pat, roll, pat. The one foot down. Oh my God! Quick, duck! Everything. There was an example given actually of many of the new sports, and they suggested skateboarding and golf. As if there's, you know, in a Venn diagram, just to bring maths into this, a Venn diagram that includes kids who skateboard and kids who play golf. There was no intersection there at all.
I was thinking you were saying it was skateboarding while golfing.
No.
That's brilliant. That's like sort of council house polo. That's a fantastic idea, isn't it?
All these new sports are because Blair thinks our kids are too fat. That way they eat too much sugar and too much salt and too much fat and stuff. And I read a really frightening thing the other day, that if you leave a fat kid in a glass of Coke overnight... you can finish that one off yourself, to be honest.
Well, their proposal for fat kids at school is that they give them dance lessons. They're not going to have the concentration for that, are they? Everybody do the mashed potato. Ooh, mashed potato! The thing is, if they're saying, oh, well, how do we get children to learn? Make them.
Yes.
Make them learn. Combine algebra with a beating. You know?
A lot of the new subject is just designed to make parents feel even more stupid, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
great.
You know, can you help me with my Mandarin homework? Oh, yes, dear. It's like a small orange, a bit like a satsuma.
Now we play a round called Set Your Phasers to Fun. This game involves Hal and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is building. Who wants to come in on that? Hal Crutton.
Building freaks me out a bit. Well, builders intimidate me, because I've had builders come to work at my house and they work for like 2 days, then go away for a week. And you end up making that phone call to them, and it makes me feel like a little kid whose parents have split up and the dad's being really crap. It's the same conversation. You just go, you said you'd come on Saturday. You said you'd be here on Saturday. I'm really sorry, mate. I've been really busy. I can make it Tuesday. Do you promise you'll come on Tuesday? Can we go to the park? I love you. They intimidate me. I've had a builder come and give me a quote on a problem in my house and make it worse right in front of my face. Literally, feeling my wall, going, yeah, feel that damp, mate, that's chronic, that's soaking wet, yeah? All round there, that's soaking wet, yeah? I put a little knife in, yeah? Watch it crumble. Look at the plaster fall away from your wall. Look at the size of that hole in your wall. That hole wasn't there when you arrived. It's massive, isn't it, mate? It's massive. No other job does that. No other job diagnoses a problem by making it worse, do they? Nobody. You know, doctors don't go, I think you've got brittle bones, mate, I do, and then stamp on your leg, do they? See that, mate? Your leg was like a twig, yeah? I think you got a dodgy heart as well. Boom! See, you're having a heart attack, you see? I actually tried to help this builder finish our kitchen, and he just stopped and went, mate, and I kind of jumped because I'd been momentarily transfixed by the beauty of the bubble and the spirit level. He just stopped. He said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off. And that night I had a dream that I was making love to my wife. And he walked in and said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off.
Thank you very much, Al Crudnell. OK, it's Gary now, so let's see what topic you've got, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is childhood.
As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. My 6-year-old refuses to eat anything other than alphabetic spaghetti. Luckily, he's dyslexic, so I just buy him normal spaghetti. Seems to work. Dad, these are all L's. Yeah, it's Welsh. I bought him some medicine for his ADHD. On the side of the bottle, it said concentrate. I thought if he could do that... I bought a really nice 12-year-old Scotch. Obviously, his parents weren't pleased. I hate people who complain about breastfeeding in public. I don't want to see it, or that's disgusting, or you can't do that, you're not a woman. And that's not a baby. As kids, we always enjoyed dipping ginger nuts into a steaming hot cup of tea, but of course nowadays that's called bullying. I shouldn't do that, by the way. Ginger jokes are the last vestiges of racism in comedy, and they started a ginger pride movement to stamp that shit out. They had a march in Hyde Park. Well, they were going to, but the sun came out. Nan always said that when she was young, she never had to worry about leaving her back door open. What a slag. I'm totally going to get in trouble with the family again. This is really not worth it. You got to look after your health as you get older. The other day I did a poo and noticed there was a little blood in it. I said, oi, bruv, get out my toilet, innit? Thank you.
Well done, Guy Delaney. Well done, both of you. Points for both of you. Come on back.
The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a news programme.
As I report from my 6th day here in war-torn Syria, I think the lesson learned is that I should never have called my producer a wanker.
According to statistics, the French economy is now the weakest growing of all the economies in Europe.
Sport now. All Manchester United fans, please look away.
You've reached Al Jazeera News, which means you're only 20 channels away from actually finding porn.
Here, you'll never guess who's dead.
Just time now to see what the papers say.
We will now attempt to talk to the survivors of the cliff fall. You're right, mate!
After the fire in the aromatherapy candle factory, the situation is now calm.
And now over to our foreign correspondent. Do you speak English?
Now it's time for the news near you.
Hello!
There are human remains on the blood-stained streets and the despair in the eyes of everyone you meet. Rob Beckett for BBC News, Magaluf.
There continues to be heavy shelling here. Ramesh Ranganathan at the peanut factory.
Now it's over to our toys and games correspondent, Natasha Kaplunksky.
And eventually the sun will go supernova, the earth will become dark and frozen, and everyone will die. That was the long-range weather forecast.
To my right, in my peripheral vision, Andy Parsons is showing us his penis. More on that as it unfolds.
We go over now to our vegan correspondent. I'm terribly sorry. He appears to have gone strawberry.
And David Cameron has delivered on all his promises to the Scottish people.
Just time for a quick look at tomorrow's papers. So the Times and the Telegraph lead with industrial strife, and in the Sun we can see that Caroline from Dagenham has got a terrific pair of norks.
Hello! I am the Messiah! And the Queen is a biscuit!
We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what is going on here?
Is it celebrity first dates?
Is this what happens when you swipe right on Tinder without looking properly?
I suspect that she is thinking, don't call him Dobby.
The first subject tonight is what a TV chef would never say.
So that's the bird plucked and stuffed. All that remains is to kill it.
Welcome to One Fat Lady.
And here, what you want to do is put a little bit of the brown mixture in the tin and then sprinkle a little bit of hash on the top of it.
Well, these Korean meatballs really are the dog's bollocks.
If you're wondering how to get the perfect skin on your parsnips, then you're mental.
Hello, I'm Delia Smith, and today we're going to cook a panda.
Am I invisible in this fucking jacket?
I think you...
So, I've marinated it for half an hour, seared it for 15 seconds, and now I'm drizzling it on my buttocks.
You just need two things to make this dish. What you need is a takeaway menu and a phone.
Tonight on Russian cookery, cyanide, polonium, and a crab stuffed with explosives.
going to be worth it now, is it?
Hello and welcome to Working Lunch, a show for people who are so good at business they're sat at home watching the TV in the middle of the fucking day.
It's science.
Scientists have just built the world's biggest ever super collider, and they're doing an experiment to find out what makes up protons. I hope that if the experiment's successful, the whole of our reality will dissolve and a big sign will come up that says, Level 2. I always wondered, you know that woman that had the face transplant? See if she gave you a blowjob, would that technically count as a threesome?
Thank you, Roy, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening here?
Foreplay.
Foreplay is the first answer we've received.
Is David Cameron saying, I met your mum once?
Is it a poster for the new film Babe 3, City Boy and the Pig?
Has the Ashley Madison website been hacked again?
Well done at taking two recent stories and slamming them together into one top-quality punchline.
Is the cameras going, whatever you do, don't open your mouth?
Don't go at any stage, right? Because we are not the ones who made this story happen, right?
As somebody said, pulled pork, and David Cameron's going, no, we're just good friends.
Oh, lovely stuff.
That is not the answer.
Is it Prime Minister updates his Tinder profile picture?
Is this a photo of David Cameron singing a rousing rendition of Two Become One by the Spice Girls?
Is Cameron going, no, I won't blow your house down, provided you just do a little something for me?
I mean, he has caught the pig in front of the house made of bricks, to be fair. It's the third one.
Yeah. OK, the answer is about 1 million. What is the question?
Is it, since I was last on Mock the Week, how many tweets have I had about Love Island?
Have you slept with anyone yet? Have you slept with anyone on the island
Have
yet?
I slept with anyone on the island
yet?
yet? Yeah, why not? I'm just going to own it now. Yeah, I'm on Love Island and I commute to do Mock the Week.
Are you looking for a dog walking service? Then call Ace Kebabs on 318-318. Looking for an undertaker? Why not call Ace Kebabs on 318-318? The Taj Mahal Indian restaurant, formerly Ace Kebabs.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant. They're having a great time all the time. Just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga.
Sport, please.
OK, the category is sport. The answer is 264. What is the question?
Is it the number of back-to-school photos of our kids my wife posted up this morning?
Each one more delightful than the last.
I'm just like, the second one ain't even that good-looking. Do you know what I mean? Just... keep him secret for the good of the family name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're really trailblazing in that department.
Listen, mate, that's not problem. The poor bastard looks like me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I've said to my wife. Should we have another one? I'm going, if we have a girl, the risk, I'm not willing to spin the wheel. I'm not willing to do that. Girl that looks like an Asian Rolf Harris, absolutely not, mate.
Is it how many dick pics I get sent every time this show goes out to air?
Sorry.
Oh, where's my double act partner? Oh, he's in here. Feeling.
nothing more than feeling, trying to fall. Yes, I have been on the show before. I was once trapped in somebody else's underpants, going, feeling.
Our next round is called Between the Lines and features Hugh and Frankie. Would you please make your way to the press pit? In this round, one of them takes on the role of a person in the news addressing the media, while the other translates what they really mean. Frankie, you are former UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan, making his farewell New Year speech as he hands over to his successor. Hugh, you will tell us what he really means.
Welcome to the United Nations, the world's most respected peacekeeping authority. As it comes to the time where I hand over to my successor, I must reflect on the fact that we have had many successes.
We came first in Channel 4's 50 most useless organisations. I got to meet Jimmy Carr. Humbling.
Naturally, we have been keeping an eye on things in Iraq to see how they are going.
They seem to be going really badly.
During my tenure, many people have become better off.
My son has become a millionaire.
It is ridiculous to say that the UN is overfunded.
As I said to my helicopter pilot when I sent him to the dry cleaners with my cat's waistcoat.
We now play a round called Royal Commentary. We'll play in a recent piece of footage featuring the royal family and ask Hugh to provide a commentary. This week, the Queen entertains a foreign visitor.
Well, there she is, Royal Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, wearing white gloves as normal. People ask us why. Well, it's quite obvious, because later this evening, she's refereeing the embassy snooker. Well, why are they here? Well, they're here for this, the world's largest musical chairs competition. 353 chairs, 354 contestants. The table, of course, from IKEA, normally seats 12. It's in the catalogue as the Blomqvist. Oh, Jack Chirac is absolutely up for this competition. He loves it. And so is the Queen, but she's putting her glasses on. She's not letting the cheating French bastard get away with anything. The music provided by the Grenadier Guards with their version of Smack My Bitch Up. By the Protégé. Well, the Queen now rising for the reading of the rules. The French will go clockwise, she says. The British will go anti-clockwise. It's very confusing, much as it was at Verdun. In this instance, a cameraman. Look, he's fallen backwards. But don't worry, the paramedics will soon be here. Jacques Chirac now reads out the telegrams of apology from those unable to attend. Saddam Hussein would have loved to be here. Unfortunately, he fell through. And President Ahmadinejad, Desmond Tutu, and H from Steps can no longer be with us. This is quite boring. So much so that the man immediately below Jacques Chirac is having to burn his own face in order to stay awake. Well, they're finding... Oh, my eyes, he's saying. They find out. Well done, Hugh.
The plane's about to land in Glasgow. Passengers are reminded to set their watches back 25 years.
Unlikely lines to hear in a TV show.
On Shaun the Sheep this week, Shaun has a big surprise when a nasty DEFRA man comes round with a bolt gun.
So get dialling, because remember, those phone lines close at midnight. Yesterday.
And now the Antiques Roadshow. This programme contains scenes of tedious dullness right from the start.
And if you have an opinion on this news story, why not keep it to yourself?
Hello and welcome to Mock the Week After Dark. I'm Dara O'Brien, and this is my penis.
How has Blue Peter managed to upset the Tories this week?
Have they changed their name to Red Peter?
They have not.
Have they not? No, they have not. No.
Is Connie Huck?
It is Connie Huck, yes.
Does she hate him? I don't know.
Does she even hate him? No.
Yeah, I tell you who doesn't hate Connie Huck, Dara?
She's a good girl.
Hang on.
Don't mess with the hook.
What does that mean? Do you fancy her?
He dresses up as I've seen him do it. He dresses up as I've seen him.
Winks at you.
Kids TV kind of thing, and I quite like... she's getting dissed
Right,
at
so
the
you
moment.
do then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she's...
He loves her. He loves her.
No,
Look at him squirm.
Have you ever met her, Dara?
I've never met her, no.
Is
And
your-
clearly not
Would you
going
like to
happen
sidle
now.
up to her and say, here's something I made earlier?
Dara, does your wife watch this?
Yeah, but she doesn't watch Blue Peter, so I'm all right.
Sticky back plastic.
That actually was just a Blue Peter term. It had no actual gag there, so yeah, sure it did. You might have just said, check the dog at that stage. Whoever from the production company who left the disc for a Philips monitor user's manual on my desk for me to see during the show, it's really handy. I'll upload that as the show proceeds. Genuinely, it's in 2 languages, in Japanese as well. Oh, it comes with the monitor drivers and the smart control software. Lovely. Ching ching.
Does that mean that we've recorded none of this so far?
Who has been running wild with Bear Grylls recently?
Obama.
Obama, yes.
Yeah.
That's him. A selfie of him. Why was he there? What was he doing?
He was there on a survival sort of programme for 2 days, but you think it would have been a doddle for Obama, wasn't it? I mean, he has survived 8 years as a black US president.
Does he realise that he's still president? Because he's just pissing around now. 2 weeks' time, you're going to hear the phrase dancing for survival. It's Barack and Christina.
This is supposed to be a survival programme. What technique are they demonstrating here? A selfie without a stick?
And also, of all the places where you could find a stick, you'd think they could make one.
They fashioned one. They fashioned a stick for selfies out of local shrubbery. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. Hilariously, my monitor just stopped working. If only we had the instruction disc for a monitor. The Copa America is on, right? And a player got sent off because the guy who was marking him fingered him in the backside.
Yeah.
And then when he turned around, the guy who'd done the deed with the finger pretended to go down as if he'd been hit.
He fingered him and then went down?
Yeah, exactly.
How is that a bookable offence? That
seems, if anything,
sounds generous.
It seems overly intimate.
Yeah, he got his bum hole fingered, didn't he?
There was some contact.
Well, the finger went in his
area.
bum hole.
In the general area. It was quite proctological. There was an element of, well, if you're going to check my prostate, at least train for a few years in this field.
I like how you're making it scientific, but we just want to say bumhole fingering.
You do say bumhole.
Finger in his bum hole.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the word bumhole more often than this, Rob.
Bumhole is funny, isn't it?
You finally got a catchphrase, something that people can shout at you in the street.
I almost regret bringing that story up now. Can we move on?
I mean, you brought it up, Dara, to be fair.
OK. The next story. OK, maybe before... OK. OK. What became legal across all of the United States this week?
Bumhole fingering.
Stop it.
In fact, Q. Q, hang a minute. Let's see what happens if I can lasso a dinosaur. I'll see if I can do that. Here we are. Swing.
Yes, it can. I had my head frighteningly close to your penis there.
That was like a... To be honest, that was like a Jurassic Brokeback Mountain.
OK, let's see what you're left with. To relate... I know what it was. That was me pausing acting. It wasn't me... It wasn't me pausing forgetting. Oh, God. Now I have to find it again.
You're the host of the show.
Hosting a host show. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. OK, let's see what topic you've got, Stuart. What the You've made me forget. It's the relation of the cross.
I don't deserve to be here.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could all make your way to the performance area, please. I will call out ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is the worst thing to hear over a tannoy system.
Only you can hear me.
The train to Nottingham will arrive in 5 minutes, which is a pity because this is Tesco.
Second floor, but you can't get out.
Welcome to our school sports day. Mark will probably get stuck in a sack. Ha, bloody ha.
Can somebody come to the salami slicer, please?
If anybody has found a Vicks inhaler...
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know there will be a bomb on the tube, but will it be today?
The lift doors are closing, leaving you trapped in an airless, windowless coffin, hurtling downwards at 100 miles an hour.
Would the parents of the child that fell into the tiger enclosure please come to Lost Property to collect her shoes?
The plane's about to land in Glasgow. Passengers are reminded to set their watches back 25 years.
The next topic is unlikely lines from the final Harry Potter book.
Don't worry, Hermione, I can get rid of it. Chlamydia disappearo.
OK, Hermione, said Harry, unbuttoning his zip. I'll show you a really magic wand.
Harry had always thought that he'd meet his death at the hands of Voldemort, so imagine his surprise when the doctors told him that he was HIV positive.
No, there is no post today, said Ron. The Owls are on a one-day strike over pay and conditions.
Midway through the orgy, Ron winked at Harry. This is better than Quidditch, his eyes seemed to say.
It was a magic mirror that showed the future, and in it, Harry seemed to be a 30-year-old actor appearing in something called The Bill.
Get the snitch, said Harry. I'll tie him down and you can drill through his kneecaps.
As the old man stood in front of him in his robes, clutching his wand, Harry regretted transferring to Catholic school.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm having a baby and it's yours, said Professor McGonagall.
Then Harry says something, Hermione says something. Oh, who cares? I'm minted.
At the end of that round, ladies and gentlemen, I'll have to give the points there to Frankie, Hugh and Mark. Do you enjoy Christmas? Do you like the holiday season?
Why isn't there any decoration on the set?
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Without any decoration, boys?
Oh.
Yeah! Christmas is here!
Nothing.
That's...
Nothing makes
like...
Christmas more than a miserable Scot just going...
Do it now. This should be the opening of the Olympic ceremony. That'll be good.
Well, do you enjoy the Christmas?
I hate Christmas. It's like the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan, except every third person is a woman puking into a handbag. People queuing to get into Yates's wine lodge. That sums up Christmas. You're queuing to get into somewhere shit. Just women who are praying for the invention of the morning after Bacardi Breezer.
You make Christmas specials a lot differently than we do in Australia.
Yeah.
See, this is the most miserable Christmas thing I've ever been involved in. This is my worst Christmas.
I launched the Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers will step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is sport. Who wants to give me that? Any persons?
So, it was the Olympic parade last week. It's great seeing it live. Obviously, I had to keep a certain amount of a low profile in the crowd because I was throwing a sickie from work at the time. But it was great. 21 buses driving through London at a steady 2 miles an hour. So very like a normal day in London, really. There was an embarrassing moment, though, when one of the conductors rang the bell on the bus and then got the shit kicked out of him by the blind football team. And I realised, actually, that I could get into any sport during the Olympics. The only sport I couldn't actually get into, dressage. Watching a horse walk and then reverse. They call it horse ballet. I don't think anybody would go and see ballet if it was just some bloke walking a bit quicker, slowing down a bit, stopping, bowing, and then pissing off. And secondly, not many people go to ballet anyway because it's shit.
Thank you very much, Johnny Carson. OK, let's see what the next subject is. And it's the internet. Who wants to come up? Joe.
The internet. You know when you buy things on Amazon and they have recommendations? You know, like the person who purchased this also purchased this. I was thinking I would like to hack into Amazon and put up my own recommendations. So, like, the customer who purchased My Story by Danny Minogue also purchased A Length of Rope and a Wobbly Chair. Customers who bought the book Fabulous Photos of Puppies and Kittens also bought Why Men Leave. And customers who bought 50 Shades of Grey also bought A Great Big Cucumber. Internet crime is apparently on the rise because of the recession, because we're all short of money. Like, in my family, like, my granddad has to go into a home, and these places are very expensive. But we found somewhere, and it's really nice because he's got his own sort of kitchenette, he's got his own shower stall, there's an outside space with plants and shrubs and stuff. Best thing is, it's completely free. We've left him in home base.
Things you wouldn't hear in a nature show.
Well, that was a sticky moment. Last time I tickle a sperm whale.
It's been said that male cows don't defecate, but as you can see, that's bullshit.
The best way to tell the difference between an Indian and an African elephant is that one of them is an elephant.
Hello, I'm not an elephant.
Told you. The baboon is one of the most sophisticated primates. Would you look at the arse on that?
And the reason why geese fly in a V formation is to act as chevrons for airplanes.
Coming up, a couple of rhinos banging and some monkeys finger blasting each other on extremely blue planets.
And what a magnificent scene. The monkey is lifting the lion cub towards the sun, and I'm being removed from the theatre for talking.
Dawn rises on the Serengeti. Dawn has no idea how she got there.
The gibbon is widely considered to be the most frequent masturbator in the entire animal kingdom. We'll see about that.
Hello, mates! I'm Daddy Dyer, and welcome to Britain's longest dogs.
The camel can walk across the sand because of its toes, or, as scientists call them, fanny outlines.
And here we have a tiger happily eating Frosties. Tonight's episode is dedicated to the memory of our cameraman, Charles Frosties.
And here we see two majestic birds of prey, or nuns, as they're also called.
Here we have a woodchuck, also known as a groundhog, prompting the question, how much ground could a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground?
As the three lions circle the female, we ask, when will footballers learn that no means no?
The crab scuttles into view. I should have used the special shampoo again.
And today we'll be talking about one of the largest land mammals to ever walk the earth, your mum.
Unlikely lines from a children's book.
Yeah, Mr. Tickle, you think those arms are big? Wait until you see Hugh's dick.
Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have, said Red Riding Hood. Fuck off, said Grandma.
Do you know what? Said the big friendly giant. I've just been fired from Mock the Week.
How do I get my hair like this? Said Tintin. Well, have you seen There's Something About Mary?
After dropping the breadcrumbs, Hans and Gretel dropped acid to find their way back to Glastonbury.
And then he ate 6 plates of goulash, 5 plates of red cabbage and a pie from Budapest. He was a very Hungarian caterpillar.
Piss off, Malfoy, you little Nazi incel weirdo.
Where's Thomas? Said the passenger. Well, he's delayed, said the fat controller. What do you mean? Said the passenger. Oh, I'm not going to explain it. That's real life. Get used to it, you little prick.
One of you, said Toad, is a mole for the Russian government. It's either Ratty, Badger, Moley, or Elena Simonov.
Look, said Harry, Wittgenstein's having a spliff. The philosopher's stoned.
And then Paddington told the lady bear to brace herself before flipping her over and opening a fresh jar of marmalade.
Guys, my dog literally just died. Can we not already happily refer to ourselves as the famous four?
Miss Chatterbox just couldn't stop talking. And that's why we had to kill her, said Mr. Mafia. Just tell him it stands for Big Friendly Giant, said Sophie. He'll be mad and his heart will be broken if he knows it means bollock-faced grandad.
In the end, all the children died.
We're going on a bear hunt. We've already shot Paddington and turned Winnie the Pooh into a fucking ruck. We're not scared.
At the end of that round, the points go to James here and Tom! Questions omitted from the British citizenship test.
Can you fly a plane? Can you land a plane?
Pat Butcher, shag or die?
Do you ever look at the ingredients on Ready, Steady, Cook and think, I could make a bomb out of that?
Is there any chance you could represent us in the 2012 Olympics? In which case, you're in.
Boris Johnson, true or false?
Do you like the music of Shawada?
On this map of Britain, can you point to where Gloucester used to be?
Are you paying too much for your car insurance?
OK, let's leave it at that. Point to Frankie, you and Adam.
So what was the story with it? Why are they...
Well, it's all an argument about supposedly dangerous extremism in Birmingham schools.
Yes.
But you're thinking, surely everybody who's ever grown up in Birmingham has thought about blowing up most of Birmingham at some point or another.
It's caused big problems in Birmingham, though, hasn't it? I mean, sort of community problems, the radicalisation of schools on one side against the other. There was this brilliant thing in The Guardian which said there was a community leader said there was a wider concern that there may be a witch hunt against Muslims, he said. And then in a phrase which you may want to reconsider, he said, in which case all stakeholders will need to work together.
It's not nice, though, to have another culture imposed on you at school. I remember when I was rushed to hospital with 80% Chinese burns.
I would have thought the key to, you know, whether a school is being radicalised, the clue really is in the nativity play, isn't it? When the three wise men come from the east, they're found to be on false passports and they're arrested under the Prevention of Terrorism.
I think having, you know, religious extremism taught in schools, it doesn't really do anyone any harm. I mean, I had fairly extremist religious, you know, schooling when I was a child, and I feel perfectly well integrated with you hideous, proddy dogs. Do you find you get on with this vermin perfectly well?
They're all going to hell and going to die, so it's fine, but, you know, and we'll laugh at them from Catholic heaven. And what's suggested to be made for Ofsted inspectors? How should they change the way they do this because of this?
They said that they were going to have dawn raids, which I thought was probably unlikely to yield many results, given that schools don't open at dawn.
Just breaking a door, just like a janitor, just...
Oh, you? We don't open for another 2 hours. He was riding a gondola.
Is this doing the
More
canals in
more
Venice?
canals in Venice, Birmingham. This is how janitors get to work in Birmingham. They ride the canal.
At the end of that round, the points go to Robert, Catherine and Andy.